Content writing is just like any other form of writing that requires in-depth knowledge of the subject complemented by great writing skills. Content could be anything: text you see in a website, advertisement, blog, email, to words you hear in a speech, movies, podcasts, and so on. The success, however, of any write-up depends largely on the quality as well as the authenticity of the content. Content writing doesn't necessarily follow one specific format, but it is governed by certain fundamental principles. Content writing is an empowering and a very complex process. It's not just merely using words, rather a well thought out and articulated process to create something useful, beautiful, as well as inspiring. A lot of people in various professions refrain from writing as they believe it is more of an art than a science. Writing has two aspects to it. One is the technical science side, while storytelling is the art side. The science of writing includes use of grammar, sentence structure, and point of view active sentences. Content writing in real is all about knowing the difference between telling and showing the added layers to the subject of your writing. Let me now talk about a few tips that will help you write an effective content. The first one would be to write a head-turning headline. Your first task is to make sure you invoke the interest in the audience to click on your title and learn more about what your title says. This can only be possible if your heading or your title is interesting enough for the audience. The second tip is to grab the audience's attention. After the audience chooses to click on your content or read it, you have 3 seconds or 5 seconds to create an impression. Therefore, the first 2 to 3 sentences play the most important role in determining whether the audience is going to continue reading through the rest of the content or not. It also sets the tone for the rest of the reading. As a content writer, you also need to research extensively. To be able to write on a particular topic, you need to have an in-depth knowledge of the content you are writing on. For this, you will have to gather information and research extensively about the various aspects related to the subject. Information can be gathered through two sources, that is, primary and secondary. We'll be talking about these further in the upcoming courses. As a content writer, you also need to keep it focused. Your writing shouldn't deviate too much from the topic. If the article isn't focused on a central idea, it will lose its purpose and wouldn't lead the desired impact on the audience. You also need to optimize your digital content. If your content is published in a digital platform, it should be in accordance with the best SEO practices and the latest SEO content strategies. The sentences should be concise and structured in a way that looks attractive to the reader. Content writing is not just about copying or following the trend. You also need to find your own unique style. It's important for any content writer to understand the voice that he or she is portraying, or who is being represented through the writing. The tone of the content should be aligned with the target audience, business objectives, and the brand persona. This may come as a surprise, but as content writers, you need to edit your work extensively. After doing the preliminary work, you should always go back and sharpen the rough edges of your work. Generally speaking, your writing is vastly improved when you go through your work a couple of times over. So, remember to edit your work.